All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game of, well, the creeps. No, my mouse just hovered over there. Welcome to a game between Soin versus TBC BM. This game taking place here on Last Refuge. Let me know if everything looks all right to you guys. I am trying to monitor my audio levels a little bit more, making sure I'm not clipping, but at the same time that you guys can hear me. And let me know. I'm gonna up my gain or my max a little bit more right here. How's that sound? Hey, Crota, looks good and sounds great. All right, glad it works. Can you cast some replays from WGL Pro qualification later, Crota? I'm just watching your stream. It's very late in my country. All right, it's okay. I understand if you can't talk. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. Soin is spawning over here as, well, the red, it's blue orc, even though it's red here. But I am going to keep it on blue just so I can keep track of it if it is a Blade Master. Going up against over here on the bottom left, TBC BM spawning as the red undead, but it's blue in the corner. I know it is all very confusing, but I'm sure you guys can, in fact, keep up. I did miss a lot of those games as well, but I try to highlight, or people try to give me games, or I guess my replay screener tries to give me games that are particularly or more focused on unusual strategies or have rather interesting outcomes. Sometimes a game, even if it is in a high-stake game, can be a little bit of a dud, so to speak, just like very standard and nothing too out of the ordinary, and you can almost predict what's going to happen before the game really gets through. With that said, Soin opening up with a Shadow Hunter first. Shadow Hunter first on a map that does not have a Lightning Shield creep camp. That does come as a bit of a surprise to me as things are now getting underway. Shadow Hunter first. Shadow Hunter picks up double healing salve, scroll of speed, and now running out across the map. What could this be? Could this be some sort of crazy strategy to try and counter what I would expect to be a Death Knight or an Undead Fast expansion? Well, it is very, very important for that Shadow Hunter to head all the way out across that map, spending that extra gold. And what can the Shadow Hunter really do at this point? Shadow Hunter going to go ahead and show up to the party. Or is he going to throw down Serpent Wards? Oh no, there's a Hex onto a Ghoul now. And now going after Ghouls. This is not anything like I imagined. It is purposely trying to delay lumber production while getting while trying to get Crypt Fiends. Death Knight now shows up to the party. Skeletal minions are now out here, and the Shadow Hunter. Wait, can the Death Knight actually death coil? Yes, it can death coil a Ghoul, even though it is currently a crab. That would be weird if it lost its undead status. As the Shadow Hunter now looking to back away. Alexander, thank you. I don't know if I am the best. Never claimed to be, but if I am the best in your opinion, well, I can't argue with that. I could argue with that, but that would be actually a little bit strange. Anyways, going around here, Shadow Hunter around and through the woods and back again. There and back again. There's the Shadow Hunter as he's going to come across, perhaps try and delay once again with more hexing. This is once again very strange, and I guess every time he delays, well, lumber is significantly lost. Now, I would have thought Serpent Wards would have been the go-to strategy here, as we now see a Necropolis coming in from TBC. Now, you may be wondering, why in the world would you be going for a second Necropolis? The second Necropolis is actually a counter to this whole entire Shadow Hunter strategy. What often happens is, if you are low on lumber, the Necropolis actually, I believe, provides, someone told me it provides food without using as much lumber, and it is a way to try and limit the amount of lumber that you are down. Shadow Hunter finally getting some experience on the board, and Death Knight having some experience as well, but this is all very, well, very strange to say the least, as we are looking at a pig getting taken down there. Are we going to see another Rod of Necromancy? Yes, we are. Grunt now trying to get in some damage here. Let's take a look at this. More damage coming across. We are getting up another Grunt as well. 26 over 40 supply. Death Knight now wandering around here, as we may be looking at Orc Burrows throwing out some spears. Yes, we are. Bestiary now getting added in as well, as this poor Peon is going to be able to jump inside. Peon's also playing a game of blocking, trying to get people out of position here, as we're going to look at a couple of skeletal minions now get taken down. Shadow Hunter getting, what, up to 36 experience, has taken down 2 units here, as we're looking at, well, Soin going for a Pit Lord second. Wait, is that? Yeah, that is a Shadow Hunter into a Pit Lord. I am absolutely dumbfounded by this strategy right now. Pit Lord actually immune to the opposing Death Knight's death coils, so that could be the reason for this particular strategy. It is more difficult to get nuked. Meanwhile, Shadowhunter now making its way back around, gonna go ahead and purposely try to get away. It looks like he's trying to aggro creeps, and there it goes, purposely now running back again. However, I believe the farce is up. The Death Knight realizing, hey, that Shadowhunter perhaps just an illusion, as the Pit Lord now going after some more creeps again. All right, coming back across over here, Pit Lord still has that Wand of Illusion, can still use it fairly easily. Null Overseer continuing to engage. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 1, almost level 2, as this last Null Overseer falls. And is it Xaxes? No, it is not. 204 for experience over, but now having access to either Serpent Wards or Healing Wave. Grunts, Pit Lord, and Shadow Hunter. This is a really crazy game. Hello, Crota. Hope you are safe and healthy in these crazy days. I am safe. Mental health may be a little bit questionable right now, just because everyone is all cooped up inside a home. But overall, things are good for now. A little way for me to have a little bit of fun casting these games and watching them with you, enjoying just a good time, as we're looking at the Pit Lord and the Shadow Hunter actually clearing out a good amount of creeps from his opponent's side of the map. Now, we are looking at a Death Knight making his rounds over. Pit Lord is sitting at 250 hit points, healing up rather quickly. Now, Orc players generally have a difficult time healing, and there are no fountains of health on this map, and that could potentially be a problem. But then again, you don't have to really worry, since we are going Shadow Hunter first, and perhaps still having access to those healing salves. Pit Lord engaging and fighting his way through here. Meanwhile, Death Knight, where is that Death Knight? Is the Death Knight rejoined? Yes, rejoined with that Lich. Lich is still sitting at level 1. Death Knight sitting at level 3. Lich is in on the fight, may not get to level 2 if the Death Knight stays around for too long, taking some of that experience as well.
Work complete.
Yeah. So far, after an unorthodox strategy coming across from Soin, things have turned into a rather standard game, as standard as Shadow Hunter and Pit Lord can be coming across from the Orc army. We're now seeing ensnares being thrown down, making it difficult for the units to try and retreat back, getting constantly surrounded, and a little bit of problem right there. Also constantly getting healed, finally taken down. We could be looking at some more ensnares as well, as the Forest Troll High Priest actually getting a bit blocked in as well. Level 3 on that Shadow Hunter. Meanwhile, Death Knight, level 2 finally on that Lich. That Lich with plus 13 attack. Add in the fact that there is the Orb of Corruption's negative armor debuff, and now throwing in a Naga Sea Witch as well. TBCBM wanting to be able to pick off units when the timing is right. Meanwhile, we are at a fortress. We are looking at Kodos, and we are now transitioning into Berserkers for these Headhunters. Engagement now ready to go. Death Knight, Frost Nova straight up onto that Kodo Beast. Kodo Beast trying to back up. Howl of Terror across multiple units from the undead. Damage now coming across here. Healing Wave trying to grab something, the Kodo Beast. However, it is just getting constantly body blocked and could get taken down. All right, Death Coil finishes off a Raider, and let's take a look at Kodo Beast. Going to get taken down as well, and a big advantage so far for the undead, as he was able to pick off multiple units, maybe able to get another Raider as well. 35 supply over 50, as the Pit Lord now sits at level 3. It does have, well, it does have a potion of invulnerability to use. Gonna try and take down some units, able to do exactly that there. Howl of Terror really reducing the amount of damage it's doing. Meanwhile, the Shadow Hunter having access to so much additional healing, and that Pit Lord dealing so much damage. The Death Knight without Obsidian statues cannot actually heal multiple units fast enough, since so many units are, well, constantly falling. Berserker now getting to the very far back here. Death Knight trying to make its way over, as we see a healing salve go down onto that Troll Berserker there. Pit Lord sitting at level 3, going after this Crypt Fiend. Crypt Fiend, are we going to see an ensnare here? Constant purge once again, as that Crypt Fiend does get taken down. There goes another Berserker once more. Units are still trying to engage. Healing Wave bouncing around and not really getting that much, as the Shadow Hunter uses a potion of healing to try to head back out. All right, ensnare onto the Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch could get taken down. No easy death coil for the heals there, as a Berserker actually, well, trying to cause a little bit of blockage. You see a purge onto that Crypt Fiend, and that was from that Orb of Lightning, making it difficult, as the Shadow Hunter doing a little bit of chase as well. All right, there goes another ensnare. Raider trying down to 115 hit points. Is it going to be able to get away? Down to 69, running very far back, as the Death Knight is following as well. Peons jumping on inside. Raider is just, well, off to the races here, as that Death Knight may be able to get off another shot. Another healing wave coming across here. Ensnare onto the Lich. Lich trying to get away, as we now double back around. Raider now back off to the north, down to 60 hit points. Is it going to be able to survive? It joins back in on the fight, only to get taken down. Scroll of Town Portal transferred over, and TBCBM gifted that Raider. It looked like Soin was going to be able to hold on to that Raider, only to have it double back around. Not quite sure what happened there. A little bit of loss of control of your units, as the unit really wanted to join in on that fight, only to get taken out very quickly. As we transition into the mid-game, this is the opportunity and time where we either see expansions or build up to the exact 50 army that we're looking for. So far, it doesn't look like expansions will be coming in, but the Orc does have access to that tiny Great Hall, allowing him to build an expansion rather fast. We're going to be looking at that Forest Troll High Priest. Is it going to be able to get taken down? A damage adding in. There goes a Purge, as we're looking at that Pit Lord just slicing its way through so many units. Meanwhile, back across here, Death Knight, Lich, and Naga Sea Witch going after this Ogre Lord here. A quick surround on this Ogre Lord. Ogre Lord now wanting to perhaps back away, going after those skeletal minions. Throw down some shockwaves, as the Death Knight gets the level 4, picking up a Medallion of Courage, Strength, and Intelligence. Shadow Hunter sits at level 4, large amount of mana. Sitting on that Shadow Hunter, 389 mana, and that is without any items whatsoever. Meanwhile, the Pit Lord is blinging it up with 6 full-on items ready to go. Gauntlets of Ogre Strength plus 3 Belt of Giant Strength, and then Gloves of Haste as well. Voodoo Lounge about to get taken out. There it goes, finished off, as the Peons may try to jump inside of those Orc burrows. They are not fortified though, so that is in fact a very big deal. Peons, are they going to start repairing? Yes, they are trying to repair and get to work. Shadow Hunter is in position, now trying to back up. New Voodoo Lounge getting added in, waiting for it. There it goes, healing wave, but it wasn't close enough to actually heal any additional other units. Shadow Hunter could be in trouble trying to get back here. Lich is actually chasing Death Coil Frost Nova on the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter walking in slow motion, heals up again, and is now trying to back away. Let's take a look. A beautiful body block by the Shadow Hunter's brethren in arms, the Berserker, as the Berserker could actually be in a little bit of trouble now. Units are now doubling back around. Are we going to see, yes, another ensnare go down, as the Shadow Hunter picks up a potion of lesser invulnerability. Lich, Death Knight on the move over here to the bottom left. Shadow Hunter Raiders, thank you for the follow, Mr. Tomato 89. Pit Lord now making its way down, and it wanted to see if there was an expansion. Still no expansion at this point, so both sides, you can pretty much assume that your opponent is sitting on 50 supply or around 50 supply at this point in the game. Trying to go into low upkeep either means that you're okay with losing 3 gold a second to your opponent, for very minimal difference, and that should only really happen after you have all of the items that you want on your heroes and your units, essentially, and your upgrades. The Death Knight has full item slots. You could probably go for a potion of lesser invulnerability, scrolls of healing, something of that nature, before really trying to get perhaps Tome of Intelligence being left behind. Nope, picked up by the Shadow Hunter, now heading back off to the north. All right, Skeletal Minion's going to dive on in. Orc Burrows now have that fortified armor upgrade. And Soin's base actually looks rather sparse. When you look at that base, you really can't tell what he's trying to go for. He has 1 bestiary, 1 barracks, and the units he's training out from them is really Berserkers and Kodo Beasts, maybe a couple of Grunts, as we now see a Frostworm in play as well. TBC sitting on 1 Frostworm, training up a 2nd, and also getting Adept training. All right, Lich could be in big trouble here. It is gonna get into a little bit of a shaky spot. There is a Frost Nova healing wave trying to save up all of those units. A new Voodoo Lounge comes into play as we're looking at what Howl of Terror gets thrown down. There goes that Berserker. No, down to 3 hit points, finally getting taken down, leveling up both the Naga Sea Witch and that Lich. Death Knight now trying to back away, and nothing lost for TBCBM. YKJ, thank you for the 2020 cheer. How did I miss that? Did it not show up? Thank you, YKJ, the overall leader in bits. That is gonna help me out a lot, help pay for, well, absolutely everything, including daycare, which I will definitely need once my wife goes back to work and I still want to cast. So know that is paying for daycare. It is going into supporting my, well, supporting your content that you guys so deserve. I don't know. Do you guys deserve this? I don't know. I don't know why I said that. I finally left on the Twitch page waiting for your stream, and then just as I finished my afternoon snack here online, you are welcome. Frostworms are here, ready to go. Now, both of these armies are actually not, well, the undead army, quote-unquote, not very wide. You can see 2 Frostworms, Death Knight, Lich, and the Naga Sea, which, thanks, Sheathix, it took me years to develop my cadence and figuring out what to say and be thoughtful all at the same time. Does take a lot of effort. And, well, thank you for that there. Undead army, notice, not thick enough, sadly. Yeah, it's really not thick. I would say it's actually thick and not wide. Each of the individual units themselves are thick, but at the same time, it's not as wide as the Orc army is at this point. Now, what does that mean? It means that if the Orc army can actually engage with all of their units at the same time, they will have a big advantage. However, those individual units can get picked off rather quickly. The undead heroes, the Lich, the Death Knight, and the Naga Sea Witch, that Fork Lightning is going to be meant to try and thin out this entire Berserker back line so that they can get picked off rather fast. A Shade is keeping track of this Orc army, so any decision to engage by TBCBM is going to be deliberate as opposed to a random stumble across. Alright, usually slang increases cast quality. Usually? Using slang does, really? Slang is so localized to different regions, right? If you're American slang versus Europe, like what, British English versus Singapore slang versus all of those types, yeah, it's very, very different. TBC right now actually going into 66 supply. We are looking at an expansion coming in from TBC as well. We are not well, surprisingly, the Great Hall being built the old-fashioned way, even though we are at Fortress. That I am currently surprised about as the engagement now happening. All right, Wind Riders are showing up. We see a couple of Raiders ensnaring down that Frostworm. Howl of Terror, major drop-off in damage. Level 5 Pit Lord dropping with level 2 Howl of Terror and level 3 Cleave. Damage coming across multiple units here. Wind Rider trying to finish off those units. Death Coil trying to save, ensnare onto that Banshee as it's trying to get away. Meanwhile, you can see the Berserkers are just continuing to focus down and get in so much damage onto those units. Death Knight sitting at level 4 really wants to get to level 5, and we see a Purge onto the Frostworm. The Frostworm could have been easily taken out right now. Are we going to see another Death Coil? Yes, we do, as we're looking at unit after unit getting taken down. All right, let's take a look. A quick Hex onto that Frostworm. Death Coil onto the other Frostworm here as the Naga Sea Witch is still alive. Major loss of damage, and that Hex is going to last for so long. So much damage lost. An ensnare onto this Frostworm here. It looks like TBCBM's Frostworm is going to get taken down there. Well, nope, Death Coil again as a third Frostworm shows up, only to get hexed immediately. All right, that Frostworm, is it going to get taken down? So much missing. That Raider, or the Raiders and the Pit Lord missing so much because of that lone Banshee, as we now see the Naga Sea Witch falling as well. Low hit point Grunt, probably next on the menu, going to get taken down here, as we're looking at that Lich trying to back away. That Grunt, Frost Nova finished off one unit again. Are we going to perhaps see some more ensnares? Raider trying to go in for a chase. Are we going to see an ensnare here? As we take a look, there goes another Frostworm. There goes an ensnare. we could be looking at a Hex as a new Frostworm shows up, but that is only at 415 hit points. More damage could get added. There goes another Frostworm again, as we are looking at that Frostworm trying to part ways at 400 hit points. Ensnare does go down. Let's take a look. More damage coming across. Are we going to see a Purge onto that Frostworm here? Yes, we do. Fighting is going to be happening. Kodo Beast needs to get away as the Pit Lord doesn't seem to be attacking fast enough. Obsidian Statue is providing plenty of healing here, making it difficult as the Death Knight's still able to get off big 400 hit point heals. Berserker shows up to the party. Kodo Beast going to get taken down. Soin at 36 supply compared to 53 as the Banshee, well, is back in play. All right, Pit Lord stuck around long enough only to realize, wait, I really don't want to be here, as he's going to try and back up. Obsidian Statues more than enough healing provided with the help of that Death Knight, making it rather nearly impossible for this Pit Lord to escape. There's another healing wave again as the Pit Lord has 1,300 hit points and is somehow able to escape with that Scroll of Speed. All right, units picking up, dropping off items. Unholy Aura on that Shadow Hunter, providing faster movement speed. Healing Salve on that Pit Lord that has 1,300 hit points. Meanwhile, back on the other side, expansions are up and running. TBC still needs one more Acolyte to really get full saturation. He's mining at about, I would say, 12 gold a second. That is my best guesstimate. 4/5 here. Full capacity. No, actually 3 here. All right, he is not mining at full capacity at all. He's mining with 6. So what is that? 42 gold? Is 420 gold? That might, no, 6 times. Oh my gosh. Okay, I can't do math right now. My apologies. It's 10 gold a second. Add in 4/5. All right, my estimate 10 gold a second, 20 gold a second. Drop it by 10%. 180 gold a second, and then drop it by another 30%. Math is hard. Math is hard when you're trying to think out loud and can't do it on paper, but I'm sure my guesstimation is right somewhere. Using air units against Pit Lord is smart, but Raiders are a good unit. That's absolutely true. The Pit Lord's Cleave has really been able to do a lot of damage. There's that Howl of Terror, and the Howl of Terror is actually a natural counter to these Frostworms. You can see a major drop-off in damage as we're now going to be looking at Obsidian Statues getting taken out. There goes a Ghoul and another unit there. We can see Berserkers actually getting possessed by the Banshees, and this is actually a very interesting turn of events as the Naga Sea Witch arrives to the party. Wind Rider now kind of go after the Frostworm here. However, the Lich is going to make it, well, fall flat very quickly. Kodo Beast digesting up a Ghoul. You can see Frostworm trying to engage once more. More cleave damage getting thrown down as well as another Banshee gets taken out. All right, Banshee going after the Obsidian Statue, gets it, only needs, what, about 115 more experience to get to level 2. All right, let's continue to battle this out here. Death Knight sitting at level 5, going to continue to throw down here. Meanwhile, Lich trying to get away. Death Coil onto the Raider for a killing blow as it continues to escape. Hex followed by a Purge from that Pit Lord. Ensnare goes down. Death Coil onto the Shadow Hunter. Shadow Hunter could get taken down. No, yes, it does. Level 6 now on the Pit Lord. As we can see, oh, Doom cast onto that Frostworm. Does it remove Doom? No, it is not purgeable at all. That Doom Guard is going to come back out. Shadow Hunter has a potion of lesser invulnerability. There's the Doom Guard. He summons back out. There's a Stomp coming back the other way. Pit Lord as the second hero, making a profound impact on the game. Naga Sea Witch trying to get away. Is it going to be able to cripple in play as the Naga Sea Witch gets taken down? Stomp on the other end. Shadow Hunter trying to get away. Lich gets a Frost Nova off, only to see where is that going to go down here. Doom Guard is here. Are we going to see a Hex? No Hex in time as the Shadow Hunter still trying to get resurrected. Pit Lord now back out. Frost Armor. Let's take a look at this. Doom Guard is right there. There goes that Lich. Death Knight is now back out onto the field. Shadow Hunter is currently alive and well, but he won't be if that Shadow Hunter tries to engage. Another Frostworm getting taken out. And the Doom Guard making a big impact here. However, TBC does have another expansion here at the 3 o'clock location. It tried to be a ninja expansion. This Doom Guard trying to engage. What is happening? This Doom Guard needs to head back. Problems with low mana is going to make that Doom Guard perhaps try and get away. You can see slowed and cursed right now because of that Frostworm. That Doom Guard about to get taken down. How much experience is going to be given? 15, 12. Oh, there's a quick Hex right there as the Pit Lord now tries to come back around. Death Knight. Did he overstay his welcome? Death Knight not close enough to actually give anything. Lich going to try and pass. Oh, gosh. Hit points down to 17. The Lich comes bearing gifts, saving all of the units. Lich, Death Knight, Frostworm, all three able to escape. Lich comes bearing gifts. Doomguard shows up to the party and says, you know what? I'm here to bring the pain, bring the hurt. Doomguard gonna finish off many of these units again, giving more experience. Shadowhunter, where is it? Soin sitting on a very small supply advantage. Tiny Great Hall now being thrown down as well, as we are gonna see this expansion come into play. Doomguard could be ready for to be cast again, or Doom, excuse me, being ready to cast again. Meanwhile, Lich sitting at level 4, almost at level 5. And we're still waiting on that. Are we going to wait on the Naga Sea Witch? Yes, we are, who is now getting resurrected. Crazy action so far. Lich is at level 4, almost level 5. Now up to plus 28 damage with a Claws of Attack plus 9 now. Gloves of Haste allows him to attack fast. And, well, that damage is just going to be so much. Big Frost Nova right there as the, well, peons are now trying to get away. Frostworm now trying to make its way back over. Going to get one shot off. Takes down a peon again as the Watchtower is now putting down pressure. There goes a little bit more slow. There goes another unit as that Frostworm going to try. Oh, there it is. Purposely switching up the targets to apply that debuff. Peons working overtime here at this Great Hall. Main bases are out of gold. Death Knight sitting at level 5. Unsummoning Crypt and Black Citadel at that moment. Giving DK Portal means pro if you're undead. I left. Yeah, if you were not on top of everything, you could have lost everything. High Court, are you going to cast WGL games? It's so hard to find some games. If people provide, like, games to me, like, specifically, I could cast them. Doom, once again, cast on a Frostworm. And this is one of those issues where you can't really run away from this ultimate ability. Thank you for the follow. Shadowhunter now getting away. Does have a potion of lesser invulnerability here. Takes a Death Coil down to 16 hit points. And I believe he healing waved again. Doomguard dies over trees and nothing happens. All right, so that is a major... that I did not know that. So if your Doomguard dies over trees, it actually doesn't summon the Doom. Or the Doom dies over a tree. The Doomed unit dies over a tree. It doesn't summon a unit similar to Goblin Zeppelin. And that unit is lost. So that is a good counter. Just run your unit over a place where it cannot get out of. And then that's the perfect counter there. Kodo Beast down to 617 hit points. Without that Doom, without Stomp in play, without Cripple, or that, is it Curse? I think it's Cripple. Without that in play, all of a sudden, that it really has the effect of this Pit Lord. Pit Lord still sitting at level 6 though, trying to fight back here as we see a Hex onto the Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch about to get taken down, able to escape as it uses Mana Shield to absorb a little bit of damage. Obsidian Statues providing hit points and mana, allowing the Naga Sea Witch to survive, and the Pit Lord saved by a potion of lesser invulnerability, followed by another healing wave. Thank you for the sub. All right, crazy game so far. Pit Lord Doom actually has a counter that I never thought about. Shadowhunter is out onto the field. Why doesn't the Shadowhunter have Big Bad Voodoo at this point? I don't see anything that actually could stop the channeling ability as a Death Coil lands on a Kodo Beast. All right, coming back into play. Pit Lord trying to regain some mana. That Voodoo Lounge is going to get taken down. Mana Shield on the Naga Sea Witch. Now actually a useful ability since the ratio was changed. And with 2 Obsidian Statues, one providing mana and one providing hit points, that Naga Sea Witch is just that much more difficult to take out, even though the Death Coil of the Death Knight cannot do any healing. All right, Soin is in trouble so far as TBCBM still laying down the pressure here. There it is 2 bases versus 0 though. So economically speaking, Soin can still train up more units. Meanwhile, TBCBM wants to go for the throat and finish everything off. Healing Wave now being brought over. Doomguard or Pit Lord now being brought back in as well, as the burrows are going to end up getting taken down. Peon trying to make it, is going to be able to run inside. Yes, it does. And more damage, well, still to be had. Doom once again cast. Are we going to see a similar play? No, Death Knight just saying, I want to keep this Frostworm alive as long as I can. I'm going to constantly be healing with 600 hit points, and so that this Frostworm never ever falls. And that is another possible counter there. There's another Death Coil once again, as this Voodoo Lounge is about to be completed. Once that Voodoo Lounge is done, well, that could be big news. Meanwhile, Shadow Hunter wants to pick up another Potion of Mana, does so with a Clarity Potion, needs to keep all of these units alive and well. The gold being spent on items to keep everything alive. That Doom is still causing major problems. Are we going to see, oh, Frost Nova taking down another Forest or Troll Berserker that was standing next to it. All right, going to try and engage. There's an Ensnare. Frostworm is about to get taken down. Is it going to summon the Doom? Yes, it does. Doom is currently out. Is it going to cripple anything? Let's take a look. There's an Ensnare onto a Banshee. No, nothing to really stop. And Soin looks like he's held the line. With Soin's hold, this may be the end now. With the Doom also, the Doomguard also running back over. There goes another Lich. Is it going to get stomped here? Just a quick surround once more. Lich having a difficult time. Let's see, is it going to end up getting taken down? There's a Hex onto the Death Knight. Death Knight could be going a little bit too far. Are we going to see a stomp in time? Oh, no stomp needed. Death Coil finishes off another Raider. 47 supply now, 50 going up to 37, as this one Doom making such a big difference, and as he feels confident enough to try and do a bit of chasing. Pit Lord chasing back the other way. Death Knight splitting back around. There is that. Is it Cripple? Yes, Cripple right there. Death Knight is going to be able to escape. There is an Ensnare. Stomp could have been coming in, but there's the GG. Soin with a great matchup there. It looked like he was up against the ropes. TBC was pushing forward, had a similar sized army, and you can take a look at the overall army size. Soin won this game with the smaller army only getting up to 56 supply compared to TBC's 70. The difference at the end was the fact that he was mining from 2 bases and that Voodoo Lounge. If somehow TBC was able to shut down that Voodoo Lounge, maybe reposition that Frostworm in a way where that Voodoo Lounge didn't get up while constantly healing it, Soin would have never had access to that Potion of Mana and those Potion of Manas and Clarity Potion, which was such a big impact, allowing the Shadow Hunter to heal all of the units and then start and force that push out. Once that happened, well, it forced TBC to retreat, and if you're retreating in a real-time strategy game and your units are getting picked off either with Raider and Snare, or Frost Nova's slow, the Frostworm slow, or the Naga Sea Witch's slow arrows, you're losing those battles since you're spending more time running than you are actually attacking, and you kind of need to stop and stutter. So that's what happened in that matchup. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.